everyone, we're live here from Suzuka circuit. Although we had to delay the race from Sunday to Monday, the Tsuyo Cup race, it's still a nice day nonetheless to race here, of course, into Suzuka circuit. Welcome everyone to, rather it's not the Suzuka, that's not the Suzuka Cup, but welcome everyone to round 3 of the Formula Hololive Japan Tsuyo Cup. It's the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka coming right up. With that being said, let's take a look into the track map and see what we have in store. And of course we are talking about this fabled track here in Suzuka in Mie Prefecture. 5.8 kilometers is the total track length, 18 corners in total, 53 laps in store for the Tsuyo Cup drivers. There will be an initial 3 laps to be added on by the Split C Invitational race coming right up before the Tsuyo Cup race. We haven't been seeing the 1397, and I don't think we should be able to see the 1397, but we will see some high 140s instead, of course, due to the requests or rather the demands by the race control to us drivers to just behave even better on the racetrack. Of course, we'll talk about that later. It's known for the circuit is also of course known for its unique figure course 8 layout. As you can see here, it's not as neither clockwise nor counterclockwise. It's also a crossover weekend, as the in-cars will also be racing for their respective Oshis in the inside, I think Ian and JP. There's also this track is also the host of F1's Japanese Grand Prix. Now there's a bit of an added information here for this one. Bernardo Santiago is actually participating here in this race, well, in this Split C Invitational race, and this will be his last start for Watson Amelia while the ride is still active. So that being said, let's take a look into the split standings after the Epilogue Grand Prix. We have been seeing some changes. Michiru Asano has now won back-to-back after following yesterday's Suzuka Cup race. He now sits in the championship lead with 120 points ahead, 127 points ahead of Chanel Markman. Of course, following him is Jeff Rohan, Alex Grant, and Sean Hawley inside the top 5. Jake Martinez is another one of the Regos members who have made an appearance inside the top 10, alongside Chanel Markman in 2nd. Shaki Reza 7th, Hofumi 8th, Nakamura 9th, and Kalgim inside the top 10. Again, we got Tamayuki Aoki and Wawakashi having decent runs here in the previous race. Of course, Tamayuki Aoki is set to participate also in Split C. So Salman is also going to race in the Split C race for ASCII. Then we have Maka Raido, Chikaji Mikolev, and Shango in the top 16 positions. And then we got Han Sinful, who has had a crazy airborne crash in the last Zako Cup race. And then we have Takashi Pen, who crashed out in the Epilogue Grand Prix Suzuka at 130R. Fortunately, he's the only crash that has happened so far, so at least we got to see some improved behaviors on the racetrack. And then we have Dawi Glover, last in the standings after, of course, having a barren run of not scoring any points in Formula Hololive so far. But of course, we cannot talk too much about the Suzuka Cup. We're going to be talking about the Tsuyo Cup. It's actually very, very tight here. Only 114 points separate between Lorenzo Ricci and Daniel Bargert inside the top 10. It just shows you how competitive the championship is. Farah Bashira is representing the reigning Formula Hololive Japan champion winning talent, that is Himura Luna, but she's currently down in 15th place. Rem Olgo's not having a very good run so far. He's also in 14th. Daniel Goyana, Alson, Tanner Aurelio also outside the top 10. Masakurashi and Sky also there in their positions. Kizaru Maverick Lucium, and Yu Cheon have also yet to open their scoring sheets. They have yet to score points. So that out of the way, let's move on into our invitational event, the Split C race. The invitational race, which we will be covering all drivers representing Hololive members who have performed in stage 3 of the Hololive Fifth Fest, Capture the Moment. And of course, this invitational race is a symbolism of them performing Capture the Moment as the final performance in the Fifth Fest concert. And of course, every single one of them when they performed the last song was running t-shirts They were, yeah, over their bright uniforms. I would like to add on that one. So while we do some final adjustments, I would like to point out a few things that, okay, first of all, welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Mama Reza in the commentary booth. And this is a recurring theme that has happened in multiple times. I'm literally the only one in the commentary booth because there's literally no one else that could join me for commentary, especially for the JP slot races. There is one that may be available, but yeah, we're not going to count on the laurels of the others. Again, I have to run as much as I can with the limited budget and with as much assistance from other people as I can with no cost. Obviously, we're not getting in any money from this series due to the derivative work guidelines. Even if we were to give money, we have to surrender the money to cover most likely. But whatever the case is, we are going to load the Split C Invitational race in a few moments' time. Hopefully everyone here is able to continue staying tuned as we're about to get the starting lineup here of the... We're going to get the starting lineup of the Split C Invitational race of the Epilogue Grand Prix Suzuka coming right up. And if you want to see what the Split C grid looks like, we have actually had a random draw on the grid. So let's take a look into the starting lineup here for the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Epilogue Race Split C grid. Daniel Barger sits on pole position for Hoshimachi Tsuyo by a virtual random draw. It's also a random coincidence that it's the same set of drivers who are in the front row in the 2023 Suzuka Grand Prix. As you can see, here's Daniel Barger on pole position, Crystal Salman second for ASCII. And then we got Hyuta Sano from Natagawa, the race winner from the previous Zako Cup race. Also, he's now the Zako Championship leader. He sets third from Natagawa. Leonardo Santiago starts fourth for Wasemilia in his final start for Ame before Ame of course retires. Well, not exactly retires, but stops all of her streaming activities for the foreseeable future. He's got a lot of fight for Leonardo Santiago. We then got Hoshizono Rio 5th for Nakari IMA with Don Elise 6th for Crazy 7th goes to Alston Tanara for Nekomata Kayu, with 8th place going to Inoshitayo for Yoshinova Muna, 9th place to Jeff Rohan for Takemi Toa, and 10th place goes to Zeke Wimberley and Sarasvana, the winningest race driver in F1 history up to this point. Ethan Burleson starts 11th for Nanashi Mume, with 12th place going to Murasaki Shion's Kizuhara Leo. 3rd place goes to Tomoyuki Aoki for Cherokee Furuki, with 14th place debutant Rudy Chu for Anya Mafisa. 15th place goes to Callum Gibbons and Roboco. 16th place goes to Isakachi Mikolev and Sakura Miko. And now looking into the final row of the grid, Alex Grant for Yukihana Alami, who was fun in the initial stages of the actual Captain of the Moment Grand Prix Split C race. And then we got 18th Rusty Carrasco for Lapless Darkness. Intriguing races in prospect as we're about to get all of these cars lined up here, as we already have these cars lined up here for the start. So let's get into the race anyways. As you can see here, we've got the new Regals banners, but we already had the Regals cars racing yesterday. It's Daniel Barger currently on pole position with Crystal Salman in 2nd place. Who will be the victor here in the Split C Invitational race? We'll have to find out as the Inonaka cars lead the field into turn 1. And as what happened last year, it's Crystal Salman taking the reins over Daniel Barger at the start. Daniel Barger now in hot pursuit of Salman. Asano stays in 3rd. Santiago is also in 4th. Everyone has been able to get into the S's in one piece. Salman leads Barger. Asano is in 3rd. Santiago 4th. Oh, more battles further back here. That's Mikolev and Alex Grant jostling for position. Already coming into the Dunlop. Mikolev actually went wide here, and it's going to be Alex Grant sweeping in to take the chance. Meanwhile, as we're going to cover the rest of the field, Santiago 5th, Antanrao 6th, Rohan 7th, Elise 8th, Hinoshi Taiyo 9th, and Zeke Wimberly in the top 10. Meanwhile, we got, that's Tomoyuki Aoki making a move against Ian Bertelsen, and that's also Gibbons trying to go down the inside of Rudy Chu. Meanwhile, we got there's a battle here between Leo and Wimberly. The Shioko versus the de facto sapling. And also Tomoyuki Aoki makes the move stick against Bertelsen. She's done well to move herself up, and now she's going to be taking the chance here against Wimberly. Here Wimberly now has to go on to the defensive, as he does have a good run at Spoon, coming to 130R, the fastest corner on the circuit. You can see here everyone should go flat out on this corner. Meanwhile, we also get to see Karashi Mikulev trading blows between each other. Here comes Chu and Gibbons coming into each other at 130R, right at the Casio Triangle. And it's Count Gibbons now up. Meanwhile, let's take a look into Rustin Karashios is on board. Alright, this is Mikulev is on board, and then maybe battles further back. Rohan and Santiago are side by side right now. And now it's going to be the winner. That is, then the winner is actually decided, and it's Jeff Rohan. Itasano stays in third. Rio 4th, and meanwhile we got more battles here. Gibbons have now moved up to 13th place, overtakes Ethan Bertelsen. Kizaru Leo's overtaking Hinoshi Taiyo, and now his next target is Dawn Elise. Only second now separates between Salman and Barger. We got even more battles here. Here's Alex Grant around the outside of Dolomite. It's going to be the inside of Degner for Grant. Gibbons now has overtaken Zeke Wimberly here. He's also on a charge, but Wimberly is going to try to fight back, but he's not able to get it done. This race is the only invitational race that is run under dry conditions. Meanwhile, Salman continues to pull away from the rest of the field here as he now gets into 130R, leading Daniel Barger, as what happened in the 2023 Invitational, or rather the 2023 Suzuka Grand Prix. We also got Leo and Elise trading blows, with Kizaru Leo now up into 8th place. We can expect Gibbons to now also make the same move against Tomoyuki Aoki here, but they're just too far back. This time, no retirements coming into the final lap. Chris Salmon with the fastest lap of the race, 141.409. Alcantara not far behind, 141.395 for the Onigiria. Chris Salmon continues to pull away the Pioneer. He's already won at Hololive GT3 just over 2 weeks ago at Twin Ring Motegi. He's going to at least try to win again at Suzuka, albeit being an invitational race, because he actually missed out on getting the overall win. Well, not exactly the overall win, but he missed out on the Zako Cup win, being beaten by Hyuta Sano. Meanwhile, there's Alex Ren, who has already made a move against Zeke Wimberly. Oh, there's another side-by-side battle. Here's Tomoyuki Aoki coming in again, and Calum Gibbons. Oh, Aoki side-by-side. They make contact, both of them. But fortunately, both of them continue on as usual, but I expect that there may be some suspension damage between these two, as they are still side-by-side at the hairpin. Gibbons now goes down the inside. Oh, you can see here he gets blocked. She gets blocked by Hinoshi Taiyo. Calum Gibbons also sweeping on an opportunity to pass Hinoshi. Meanwhile, Crystal Salman coming into 130R, while he's got some problems against opposition in the previous race at the Zaka Cup race. Here in Split C, he's going to right the wrongs. Asuki was emotional when she performed The Last Frontier with Suisei at the Stage 3. And now it's going to be Crystal Salman repaying the favor, as he was going to make it another emotional moment for Asuki, at least in paper, of course, for him to win the Split C Invitational race of the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka. And what better way to cap it all off with Daniel Barger actually finishing here in Suzuka to make it an Inonaka 1-2. Tasano also makes it very, very nice here, as the two cars in Starten make it into the top 3. So anyways, let's cover the race finishers. Chris Salman, of course, wins for Asuki. It's very fitting that it's going to be the Inonaka members making up the 1-2 spot on the grid, or rather on the podium, with Daniel Barger alongside. You can see why Aski were so emotional on that one. It just meant so much, at least for the concert part. Kyuta finishes third for Minato Aqua. As we mentioned before, Hoshinoria finishes with a solid fourth for Nakiri IMA with 5th place, Alson Tara 5th. And another member from Start Ends, Jeff Rohan, who is set to participate, or rather he is not set to participate in the Tsuyo Cup because he is already in the Zako. He finishes 6th here in the Split C Invitational. Bernardo Santiago started 4th but made a valiant effort to at least finish the race in 7th for Watson Emilia in 7th place. Kizaru Leo 8th for Murasaki Shion with 9th place Don Elise for Kreiji Oli, and Hinoshi Taya rounds out the top 10 for Hoshinobu Muna. 11th place Count Gibbons for Roboco with Tamayuki Aoki and Rasim Kurashio 12th and 13th for Shirakami Fubuki and Lapos Darkness respectively. Alex Grant and Zeke Wimberly make up 14th and 15th representing Yukana Lami and Saraswana respectively. Eden Borello 16th for Mume, Isakaji Mikolo 17th for Sakuramiko, and Rudichu 18th for Anya Melfisa. No crashes here, so we may not save the replays. So we're just gonna go straight to the chase, if you will, into the CO Cup race. So as we mentioned before, there were 80 kilograms of ballast applied on the JB class cars on the Split C Invitational race to allow the in cars to have a proper NACON race. And just going to have a short break in commentary as we're about to get the qualifying underway. You can excuse us while we're gonna take a short break. Don't go anywhere. Apologies here, we're gonna have to take a some slightly longer break. We'll be coming back hopefully in the next minute or two. Damn errands happening. So please don't go anywhere. We're gonna continue the qualifying session coverage after this. Alright everyone, we're back. Suddenly you guys have family members asking for errands. But anyways, let's not backtrack ourselves any further as we will officially get ourselves into qualifying coverage. As we're switching some of the logos. We got a few cars already out on track here in the CO Cup race so far. One of the cars, of course, being Kizuhara Leo, racing with the new logo Murasaki Shion car. Alright. just checking on the current situation of the cars out on track. We got at least 3 cars out on track with Rio and Tarao and Leo, and a few more cars that are coming in soon. Plaza de Marcha for Aki Rosenthal. He's currently out in the number 19 car. He's currently sitting 3rd in the Tsuyo Cup standings. So there's a lot to look out for the Rosenthal member. Because he'd like to be probably as known as Jimmy Whip Shooter, who is also a well-known Rosenthal member, channeling that Muki Rose mentality. And so Plaza Tomashev is now here to rip something in the racetrack. Really is also out as well. Rim Oligor. Daniel Barker's now on track as well as Jake Goodwin. Daniel Goyena at Sky. Kamine Reba, Marcin Krashel's also out. Farabashiro, one of the last cars out, with Lorenzo Ricci and Yu Cheon also coming in soon. So Benguse come out on track. So let's take a look at the Plaza de Marcha on board as we're about to get a lap here in Suzuka. Flat no problem at 130R, and now coming into the final corner here. Also no problem to stay in 2nd gear. We get a good exit out of the Cassia Triangle, and the final corner, keep it to the inside of the final corner as it's off cambered. So make sure you get a good exit on this main straight here to start the flying lap. Flat out until you reach the apex of the first part of the first corners, and then through the 2nd corner as usual, and then here's the S's. Again, treat this corner as a single flowing section here. 27% of the lap time has come from this section, despite only covering a few percentage of the track. And now you come here into Dunlop. Again, Dunlop's also off camera, so you need to be careful. And then the Degner here, you need to take it easy on the curve. 36.820 for Damashev in that curve. Of course, he has won here in Suzuka. And now you can see here into the hairpin, slight right kink, but you can after you hit the right hand kink, you can bring it to the hairpin. And now you can go flat out at this section. Take a short break if you'd like. He continues to drive his way, and now coming into spoon curve and takes it easy, though he doesn't want to extend as much as he wouldn't have liked. Had to take a safe route at the exit of Spoon, and then here's the back straight here, although this will come on his lap time a bit. And now coming into 130R, flat out no problem. Again, carries around 278 kilometers an hour at the in between 130R, and then brake just before the billboard into the Cassia Triangle. Get a pretty decent, good exit from the final corner. We'll get off cambered, and that should be a lap here in Suzuka. 143.019 for the monster. You can see he's absolutely struggled here, especially in the final sector, where he essentially had to back off a bit at the spoon curve. Meanwhile, speaking of which, Alson Tarao now currently in provisional pole with a 141.285. The Onigiria is absolutely showing up. Michael Turner, the most recent winner in the Tsuyo Cup, he goes, of course, one at home at Autopolis. This perfect way that could be in a VTuber standpoint. Of course, Shiragari Noel is from Virtual Oita, and of course, Autopolis is part of Oita. Speaking of which, we got some more drivers getting faster laps. We got Kaminari Reba, currently on provisional pole, 145.03 for the Shishiran driver. Last time he won was in the Capture the Moment Grand Prix in Split A. Let's see if he's able to replicate the same heroics as he has done at Fuji for right here in Suzuka. And it's actually pretty fitting when it's all things considered, because you're talking about a driver who's winning essentially two of Japan's most popular tracks, Fuji and Suzuka. You couldn't ask for more. Meanwhile, we're looking at Daniel Barger, who's currently qualifying 13th for Chimachi Suisei. Looking at So Byung-eun. So Byung-eun is not out on track, I don't think. Or rather, he's going to cross the line to finish his lap, and he will qualify 6th for now, 141.359. Notice that we have a lot of viewers in the chat. We got a lot of people watching the stream. So please drop a like and hit subscribe if you want to see more of Hololive team racing. As we're looking at Sobyung in this lap time, it's currently approaching Dunlop. Tries to manage throttle as well as he can without having to spin out his car. 36.334 for the first sector, only 3/10 behind. As you can see, it goes into the underpass, into the tunnel, and then into the right-hand corner before the left-hand hairpin. So Byung-eun currently continuing his charge. And he's coming into Spoon Curve as we speak here, and as you can see, it looks to me that he has got a very good run here. Well, looking at Vlasa Demonstrator, who's currently third in the Tsuyo Cup standing, he's currently down in 19th. Hoshizunari is down in last, 118.242, around 7/10 behind there, so Byung-eun. But I'm not sure if he is able to get into like 6/10 of a second, then he should be in the front row. So Byung-eun, of course, is a very peculiar and interesting person to look into, as he's now coming back into the pits. Meanwhile, Vlasa Damashev is making his run in the final corner. He does see some improvements, beats Rustin Kurashio and Hoshizuna Ryo, but he still does not beat Kizuhara Leo. Farabashiro is still down in 15th. Driving the car that essentially brought Momashazan Reza to his Formula Hololive title last year for him and Luna. Kaczynski now gets up to third, 141.124 for the Yuzuki Choco driver. Lorenzo Ricci, on the other hand, he's currently sitting 6th and is looking into a serious position for him to extend his championship lead. While Michael Turner is not far behind in 7th, so it will be likely that if Turner is able to seize the opportunity to overtake Ricci and a few other positions, that he should be able to take the championship lead. Kaminari Reba, of course, is in pole position provisionally, and if he does win, he should be jumping up in the standings. Goodwin, who is currently 5th, is in 2nd. Kaczynski currently 9th in the standings. Barger now in 4th place now. He's sitting 10th. So Daniel Barger finally living up to the hype and expectations in that Suisse Formula Hololive car. Suisse, of course, very committed to the bright uniforms. Like, she hosted 2 live concerts since 2023. And she has only been using the bright idol uniforms. Here is Barger now trying to see if he's able to get a good lap timing. Is about to cross the 2nd sector timing, as he's only 1/10 behind Kaminari Riba. We're gonna see him do a lot of things good. A lot of good things here. Daniel Barger has yet to win a Formula Hololive race for Suisse. Charles Thompson, his predecessor, has already won for the Diamond in the Rough that is Suisse. But of course, as we say that, he comes back into the pits. We all got Alson Tannerau, also another driver out representing Okayu. He is also representing Eugene Murray on a part-time basis before Yuta Asano takes the ride full-time, following, of course, Aqua's unfortunate graduation announcement. Dancing into the final corner and into actually the actual final corner. Alson Tannerau doesn't see any improvements here as he continues to just set in some practice laps. Looking at Reba, who's currently in the lead, and then we got Goodwin in 2nd, Kaczynski 3rd, Barger 4th, and Tannerau 5th. It's an interesting top 5. Hoshizuna Ryo improves on his lap time. He's now up in 14th place with the white color front wing on IMA number 20 and IMA number 18. Puyena in the Pecora number 11. Pecora also being somewhat dedicated to the bright uniforms as of recently. He's also making a push so far. Guyana currently sitting 13th with 71 points. Into the underpass as he continues to essentially make market appearances, or rather marked runs so far. Kyle Williams meanwhile sits 18th with the black colored front wings in that number 57. He doesn't see any improvement so far. Funnily enough, Tyler Williams is also in a CO Cup Championship battle, but this is not the position that he would like to be in, as of course Tyler Williams currently sits 6th at 175 points. He needs a better result if he wants to mark his title potential even further. Of course, he's currently being blocked by two other cars who are there's Du Ciem and So Byung-eun, and you can see your Tyler Williams is now actually faster than both of them on the first sector, so this is not ideal. Speaking of which, Guyana doesn't see any improvements either. 141.940 on this lap for Guyana. Again, excuse us while we have to take short breaks from the commentary. Again, I'm literally the only one here, so please bear in mind this one situation. Guyana 36.418. Meanwhile, we get to see some improvements for Riley 141.288 on this lap for Riley, as he now gets himself into 6th place. Bobs Ricci down in 7th, and Turner in 8th, who's currently still stuck in the pits. And as we say that, Turner is going to go for one last qualifying run, and I do not think Mr. Hojizone Rio is going to be improving anytime soon unless he gets himself back out on track for him to try again. Tyler Williams, meanwhile, is still stuck behind traffic. He probably needs to start backing up right now and get some time to catch up if he wants to set some lap times in, but of course this is so what can we expect? This guy is also out on track for his warm-up lap. Only 8 drivers within a second of Kaminari Riva, the rest of which over a second behind. Oh, and Daniel Guyana, as we say that, he's now back up into 10th place. Becard didn't use the original, she used the bright uniform for her Seoul Live concert as happened last year. And speaking of which, Farah Bashira, where did she come from? 149.26. This is a surprise that we weren't expecting. Looks to me that Sheldon Reza's energy in the Himamari Luna number 31 has passed over to his successor, Farah Bashira, and she's now moved herself into 2nd place. Of course, she has a brother. Her name, her brother's name is Chanel Markman, and he's currently in 2nd place, or rather, he's currently 2nd place in the Zako Cup standings. But we will see if there's going to be more developments here. Will Farah Bashira be able to get even closer? And speaking of which, Daniel Barker, of course, responds to Bashira's lap time with a 2nd place lap time. Only around setting a lap time of 146.23, so it's very, very crazy. Anyways, just want to get back onto the situation here. The checkered flag has dropped. Ooh, you can see your Barker's actually very quick on the first sector, already 2/10 faster on the first sector. Riba's already coming into the pits. Daniel Barker is going to make it 2 consecutive pole positions, well, 2 official consecutive pole positions. He's already had 2 consecutive pole positions if you want to also count it on unofficial records here, as he started on pole by virtue of a random draw in the Split C Invitational. And now he has a chance to make it 3 for 3 in all records, 2 for 2 officially. as he is currently running uninterrupted into the second sector. He's only 100th of a second slower than Kaminari Riba in the first two sectors. He needs a magical final sector to displace Riba from the pole position spot. But as we say that, he comes into the pits, and that is unfortunate. I think it looks to me that his fuel is not enough. So Barger has to come back to the pits, otherwise he will have to face a grid penalty, as is the case in Formula 1. Meanwhile, Farah Bashira, I believe, has already made her run. As you can see, the last driver to cross the line, and we have confirmation that Kaminari Riba is your pole sitter for the Epilogue Grand Prix as Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. So as we are going to get the starting lineup here underway, it's a very interesting set of circumstances here, especially for Farah Bashira, who set her lap time completely out of nowhere for her to get into the top 3 spots. In front of her is Daniel Barger, who have scored countless pole positions in Formula Hololive Japan, but has yet to score his first win. Riba, who have won in Fuji. So Farah Bashira has some serious competition, and she does win here. She's gonna get ever so closer to Tsuyo Cup glory, and for Himamori Luna to be able to defend her title. So anyways, coming into the starting lineup here for the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. Let's take a look here. Kaminari Riba with 1:45.03 sits on pole position for Shishira Boltan, with second place Daniel Barger for Shimachi Suisei. Third place goes to Farah Bashira for Himamori Luna, with Raji Kazuki for Yusuke Choco. Jay Goodwin fifth for Okami Mio, with sixth place Outsun Tanara for Nakamata Gayu. Seventh place Ryu for Sakamata Chloe, with eighth Lorenzo Ricci, Hosha Marine. Michael Turner starts ninth for Shirogane Noel, 10th place So Byung-eun for Shinoi Flair. Daniel Goyana starts 11th for Sarabakura in car number 11. And Sky starts 12th for Kazuma Iroha in 12th. The Rushing Crusher 13th for Lapis Darkness, with 14th Yu Chaeyon for Takane Lui. So it's our Holux 12, 13, 14 with another one in 7th. Navidusium 15th for Omar Polka, with 16th Hoshizuna Ryo for Nakari Ayame. 17th goes to Rim Olgor for Ozura Subaru, with 18th Plaza Damashnev for Aki Rosenthal. 19th place goes to title wins for Amane Kanata, with last place going to Kizuhara Leo for Murasaki Shion. So we're getting the cars lined up here for the Tsuyo Cup race. And as you can see here, that's Kaminari Riba lighting up on pole position. Daniel Barger alongside. How will this race go, as we're about to get the lights properly lighted on? 5 red lights the drivers are seeing here in the Tsuyo Cup race. Who will lead into turn 1? Daniel Barger now sits into second. It's the same position. Oh, and that's someone actually hitting the wall. That looks to me that that's So Byung-eun hitting the wall. That's very unfortunate for So Byung-eun. But meanwhile, we are Kaminari Riba and Daniel Barger back side by side. Barger's gonna try to go side by side, but this time, even if he does start second, he's lost the lead, or rather the chance to take the lead away, as Kaminari Riba now leads the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka. The Tsuyo Cup race ahead of Barger and Bashira. Kaczynski is in 4th, Goodwin 5th, and Tanarao 6th. Richie 7th, Kirilyu 8th, Goyana 9th after having a great start. At Sky also having a great start. He's now in 10th. Oh, there's bodywork and sparks flying at Degner. There's contact. Oh, there's someone going off here. That is at Sky going off wide. Michael Turner now sees the chance. He's had to walk down the start. We got Michael Turner now challenging Daniel Goyana in a sparring battle between Hololive Fantasy members, Gen 3 members, going side by side, and Michael Turner now gets up into 9th place. Meanwhile, Jay Goodwin gets very close there to Raji Kaczynski, who's currently running 4th. Oh, there's more. There's Michael Turner now being overtaken by Goyana. They're now going to go side by side, or an attempt to go side by side, coming into 130R, because it's the most fabled corner in Japan. Well, Goyena this time gets very close there to Liu at the Casio triangle, but of course Goyena is just too far back. Meanwhile, Kamen now pulls away from Barger after one lap complete. And then there's Farah Bashira trying to carry on the legacy that has been handed over from Muhammad Shadrin Reza, as Bashira continues to pile on the pressure on Barger, who is now continuously losing touch to Riba. Here's Tyler Williams now trying to get something happen against Hoshizuna Ryo. Oh, really trying to hang around the outside, trying to make the outside line work there for Williams, but it just has not been the case. Meanwhile, Damasha trying to sniff an opportunity to make a move down the inside of Williams, but nothing so far. Ooh, Fire Bashira. Oh, there's more battles here right now, as you've seen here. Liu and Lorenzo Ricci, or rather Liu and Daniel Goyena are currently trading close. Goyena is currently blazing fast here. Starting 11, he's now going to be looking for an opportunity to get into 8th, as he's now going to go side by side with Liu. Ooh, it gets very close there. And they're still side by side, coming to 130R. And checking onto the radar here. Oh, you can see Liu is actually still alongside, or rather not anymore. Goyena just manages to get past Liu, and Liu has to back off slightly. And with Kamen now setting the fastest lap of the race, he is currently in control, 141.52A. Everyone else is setting 144s and 143s. And with drivers now coming in to already cross the line here, we get to see why Kamen is actually very quick here. It's just him. He's going to be going for a pretty interesting undercut strategy. Meanwhile, Daniel Barger is actually going to hold on for much longer for an overcut strategy. The overcut strategy has worked for certain drivers, as well as certain drivers like although Firebash here actually has a very fast car. She actually has the car meant for the undercut, so she needs to get close to Kamen Riba as much as possible if she wants to beat him on the same strategy. But right now, Kamen Riba has continued to pull away. Its gap is now at 5.7 seconds. Anyways, we got Antara and Goyena now going side by side here on the radar here, as Antara now has to defend against a fast charging Goyena. And looking at Goyena's run, he is actually going to go for much longer. So this is a very interesting battle here between those who are good in qualifying, those who are good in the race. And right now we got Kamen Riba still continuing to pull the gaps here. As you see, Bashira has actually made the move here against Daniel Barger. So apologies if we missed the overtake here. Again, one person can only do so much. Lap 4 this race, and Bashira has now unleashed herself against Barger. Barger is actually going to take it very easy here, as he's going to be set to block the progress of other drivers coming in to progress. Barger is currently up in 3rd place. And right now he is currently in no pressure to waste his tires on defense. All he needs to do is to just race his own race and essentially just do his own thing. Magatur is currently down in 10th after some start line shenanigans. Meanwhile, looking at the biggest gainers in the start, Daniel Goyena starting 11th, is now up into 7th. Goyena is also going to be pitting pretty later on in this race. Not as late as Daniel Barger, but the point still remains. And so Goyena is going to be in a potentially serious position to grab his first win. a lot of drivers are going to be gunning for their first wins in Formula Hololive. Bashira is going to be looking for Mari Luna's fourth in Formula Hololive, while also looking for her first in aero competitions. Barker's looking for his first, and Tsuyo says his second. Reba and Botan looking for their second right now. Kaczynski is looking for his first for himself and Zuki Choco in Formula Hololive, although he's already won for Choco in Hololive GT3, but that was like 2 years ago. Jay Goodwin's already a winner, and Taro has yet to win. Koyena also yet to win. He has won at the start of the season, but he is doing his best to remain relevant, keeping himself relevant in this title battle. Lap 5 of this race, and it's still in the way of Kamen Reba, but Bashira is keeping himself honest. Barger has lost touch to Bashira as he continues to run around in a pretty heavy car, which explains why he is not as fast as both Bashira and Barger. Speaking with Duciem and Crossio now going side by side. Apologies if we have to do some slight checking and all that stuff. Just saw some few funny clips here, but let's not get ourselves too distracted here, as right now everyone's still running around as usual here in Suzuka. Everyone just trying to behave as much as they can, although there were issues from other drivers, especially the likes of So Byung-eun, who is currently parked in his garage after not even making the start line. He had a suspension failure at the start, which is unfortunate. Kamen Reba continues to set a fastest lap up to fastest lap, 141.121 this time for the SSRB member. Bashira now sits in second. Barger now picks up the pace. The drivers really have to take it easy and to not abuse the curbs and track limits. Again, this has been echoed in the remaining races, especially since the debacle of the Formula Hall International race. Kaczynski and Goodwin are gonna come close to attacking, and you can see Goodwin and Guyana might think of a move against each other. Predator versus Prey, but this time the Prey's gonna be on the attacking end. Guyana is on board. Probably tells you all you need to know, as he's now gained 5 positions from the start, already making a pass against Tanarao. Looking for drivers at who will be pitting the earliest. It will be Jay Goodwin at Sky. These will be the drivers who will be coming into the pits first. So Byung-eun did not run for long enough for him to set a strategy going. Oh, here comes Kaczynski now, coming very close to Barger, but Barger at this point just needs to drive like he's just driving on his own. Don't push the tires way too much. That's all he needs to do. Sky continues to try to be in charge, but his problem, he has only gained 1 position from the start, as he's currently in 11th place. Meanwhile, the gap between Reba and Barger now opened up to 15 seconds. Bashira is at least trying to keep Reba honest, but she's just trying her best to get herself very, very close. As it stands right now, Kamen Reba will be taking the championship lead away from hang on, just trying to check who is currently leading the Tsuyo. Lorenzo Ricci. Reba, of course, sitting 4th in the Tsuyo Cup title hunt. is going to be making use of this very great run here with 6 laps complete. Oh, here's Goodwin and Kaczynski now going side by side here as Kaczynski now is slightly ahead of Goodwin, but Goodwin manages to defend. And Goyena is going to be swooping in on the chance. Goyena's making his run known, but he's just too far back. Barger and Goodwin already set personal best as Barger continues to shed good amounts of fuel in his car. Farah Bashira continues to make her run. Reba currently sits in the 8 seconds ahead of Bashira. This is a very good cushion. If he doesn't make a small mistake, then he does have that pretty sizable gap to fall back on. So we're gonna go on to an onboard of a promising driver here, and that promising driver is of course Danilo Goyena. So we're gonna see what Danilo Goyena sees. As you can see here, oh, that's what she's done on Rio and Tyler Williams. They both spun. Oh, they were side by side coming into Degner, and they both have some pretty drab races so far. And it looks to me that Rio's able to continue, but Tyler Williams is beached onto the curb. That was very unfortunate. They were side by side at Degner. Oh, that has been unfortunate as Tyler Williams officially records a retirement. And as you can see here, I believe it was Tyler Williams ahead of Rio. And Tyler, of course, has already retired, so I don't think there will be penalties here. We can at least chalk it down as a racing incident. But holy smokes, the driver running 6 in the Tsuyo Cup is now out of race. Meanwhile, Aurelio and Vlasa Dimashev banging doors, or rather wheels, at the 130R. That is just mind-boggling on how these drivers are able to keep their cars going, because in any other circumstances they will just hop onto each other, spin out, and crash violently, as what happened last year in the Super Formula race at Suzuka. 18 cars remain here in Suzuka for the Tsuyo Cup race, the Epilogue Grand Prix Suzuka. And here comes Jay Goodwin now, continuing to pile on the pressure onto Barger. Well, looking at Riva and Bashira's case, they need to keep it under control so that they don't get blocked by lap cars. Barger might be thinking of a pretty decent strategy for him to go on to as he continues to make his run defending against Goodwin and Kaczynski. Barger now currently third, still trying to get something out of it. He is going to be set to get his, I believe, best ever finish in Formula Hall in Japan if he stays here on the podium. But of course, a win should be on the cards for a ride that has been very much hyped by Suisse multiple times over. Of course, we got with Suisse just focusing on your phone. Oh, you can see here Barger just continues to soak up the pressure against Jake Goodwin, especially coming into turn 1. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the field, Goodwin is in 4th, Kaczynski 5th, Goyena 6th. Yeah. Goyena 6 and Tanros 7, Richie 8, Ryu 9th, and Turner 10th. There's a 6-car battle, rather a 5-car battle that stretched from 3rd to 7th. Anyways, just trying to check on additional information on the internet that we use this while we get to see some unresolved battles going on. 9 laps complete here in the Tsuyo Cup race of the Epilogue Grand Prix in Suzuka. So, looking at the rest of the field here, we're going to be looking at some potential stories here, looking into progress starts. Tyler Williams has had a net gain of 0, of course he started 19th, and taking advantage of Sobian In's retirement. After his crash, he also has gained nothing. Of course, he's crashed in the span of 2 weeks. He crashed in the Tsuyo Series race at Motegi, and he's also crashed in the Tsuyo Cup race at Suzuka, especially here in Formula Hololive, where Kanata has been preferring the right performance as of late. This has got to be a huge sting. Rio lost 2 positions from the start. Of course, the biggest gainers is still Danilo Guyana with 5 positions gained from the start. There's a good chance that Guyana is able to gain more. Double check on a few things on the driver front. We got Bashira still 9 seconds behind Reba. Rio is right here. Kaminari Reba is right here after 11 laps, so there is a huge chance that we will be seeing lap cars as early as lap 22 or lap 23, especially given that Reba is not going to be set to pit until at least the next 20 laps. Coming Reba sets his fastest lap. He now breaks into the 149.88 territory. Goyana and Kaczynski, meanwhile, are trading places between each other. That makes a 6 positions gain for Danilo Goyana. The Nosagi also making his moves now, but he is currently 25 seconds or rather 26 seconds behind Reba. And of course, he should be able to take advantage of lap cars if there is an opportunity, but of course, he's gonna have to continue on as usual. Still much of the race to go. We're looking at a 1 p.m. or 1:10 p.m. Race finish time. At least that is the prediction that we are holding on to so far. Meanwhile, we got there's Goodwin continuing to chase Barger. Barger having a high downforce setup. Same goes for Guyana, because it's essentially everyone else. Everyone is just running a high downforce setup here, so that they're able to make take full advantage of the S's and one water high-speed corners. No pit stop activity to report so far, but I'd like to hold out to the idea that some of them are just going to continue on running as usual. Barbashira continues her run, no problem. Meanwhile, Reba is also going to continue his run. 141.014, he's actually slower than his fastest lap. Meanwhile, we got Barger and Goodwin. Goodwin gets very close there, but not close enough against Barger. Got 12 laps complete. Still a long way to go in this race. Just going to check on what's going on here just going to check the scenery here in Suzuka. Still pretty overcast. And so due to the track temperatures actually being lower than expected, so one can expect that if you do an undercut, then you're going to have to scrub a lot of temperature on the tires if you want to get yourself further up front. If you want to have the fastest chance on getting yourself a fast lap time against those who have not yet pitted. Meanwhile, Barger continues to mount his charge against The rest of the field, Goodwin is in 4th, Guyana 5th, Kaczynski at 7th. Then the battle has now actually expanded into 11 places at Sky. UCM is in 12th, Horatio 13, Cheon 14. They're all catching up into Daniel Barger here. Daniel Barger is actually forming a very, very long train that is currently extended into Ed Sky. You want Sky now to give a move down the inside of Michael Turner, but he has to think better off. But again with the fastest lap, 140.950. He's currently not very much unstoppable right now. Meanwhile, Tannerall makes his move against Raja Kaczynski at the exit of Spoon Curve. Now into the back straight, he's now up in 6th. He now has Daniel Goyena in his eyesights. Jay Goodwin now 4th against Daniel Barger, currently running in 3rd place. Goodwin's onboard tells you everything you need to know about Barger's stellar defense against the rest of the field, even though it comes at a cost of not catching up to Bashira and Riba. This is a nice story to look forward to as we are continuing the race for the CO Cup title. As for Tyler Williams, he's currently inside his own pit box. Obviously being dejected of his own crash. He should, in theory, fall down the order because remember, all the other drivers that are behind him are actually not far behind Williams. Remember, he's at 175. Liu, for example, who's currently running in 9th, is at 94. And Tara, who's running 12th, is currently at 86. We got Diana and, of course, the rest of the field currently in a point-paying positions. So we are going to be expecting at least Williams to go down below the top 10. Barger, Kaczynski, Rio, maybe not Rio, but Barger, Kaczynski, Liu, and Taro Goyena, they're all under and Tyler Williams, and they're able to currently have a chance to score a lot of points here. Well, Kaczynski and Richie go side by side again. Tight, hard racing at 130 but still remaining clean, even coming into the Casio triangle. The battle just keep on going, but this time it's gonna be Raja Kaczynski the victor in this small battle so far. Raja Kaczynski still stays in 7th. Meanwhile, we got to see an inside line move by Richie, but he's just not close enough. Leo's also sniffing for a chance. Jay Goodwin 4th place, Barger 3rd, Bashira 2nd, and Riba is currently in the lead of the race so far. And note, this is where Hoshizuna Rio is. This is where Kamen Riba is. As you mentioned here, the chase for the lap card is actually going to come very much soon. Especially for Kamen Riba, who's looking for his 2nd win in Formula Hololive Japan, and to really mark out his championship aspirations for Shishiron. Downshifting into the Casio triangle, he continues to march forward. Kamen Riba continues to set fastest lap at the fastest lap, 140.875 this time for the Shishiron driver. Hoshizuna Rio is having a pretty grab and lonely race here after he was spun out by Tyler Williams. Tyler Williams was ahead, but Tyler Williams, of course, spun Hoshizuna Rio out, and of course he is already retired, so there's no need for a penalty. The penalty is already served by Williams retiring. Kizora Leo is in 17th, so also having a pretty lonely race here. He should be able to catch up against the likes of Michael Turner and Ed Sky, as they're still they're still struggling to get past Daniel Barger, who's having a very, very huge defense. What was that noise? Anyways, there was a funny noise coming in at the circuit, with also the car's sound being muted. I can't really explain why at the moment. While Antanarao sniffs at the chance to attack Antanarao sniffs at the chance to attack Guyena. Pick her up versus Okayu, at least in this sense, but they are getting pretty close, but not as close as you'd think, as Goodwin and Margaret is. So just a bit of a confirmation, Bashira will be pitting in the next few laps as she's gonna try to make her undercut strategy work. Well, we'll have to see on how long she will spend her time in the pits. And right now she's not being called in so far, but her gaps to Barger have opened up to 23 seconds, so she may be able to cover it up. Worst case scenario, she will be jammed in between the running cars in traffic. Bashira says a 141. Dan Barger, I believe, is slightly catching up based on the available information that we have. .142.519. Everyone behind Barger with Goodwin, Guyena, and Antanarao. With the exception of Kaczynski, it seems, has already set personal best in line with Barger, setting his personal best. Looks to me that Farah Bashira might get a call to come into the pits sooner or later here. Her fuel is actually coming in very dangerously low. Bashira is going to have to brace for the worst here as she may be jammed in between the traffic. Oh, you can see sparks continue to fly as the drivers continue to push onto the limit here in Degner. Bashira's not called into the pits yet. She is going to try to continue running her fuel down to the zero for her to just continue on running. The gap is now at 24.545, now 24.66. Bashira is still faster than Barger, and she is trying her best to catch up to Riba. 141.113 for the Himamori Luna driver. Bashira's looking for her best ever result here so far. But will she be able to grab Himamori Luna's first win in Formula Hololive in 2024? Oh, Goodwin's getting very close, but he's not close enough. Checking back at Sky is going to be the first driver to be called into the pits. Farah Bashira not long after, so we're going to need to pay attention to how Ed Sky does his pit stop to get a good visualization on how Farah Bashira will be doing her pit stop. And she's not, Ed Sky is now barreling into his pit box. He's not far. Spends around 10 seconds so far as he continues to remain stationary. Hoshino Rio's coming in. Yeah, this is a good amount of time in the pits here. That will mean that Bashira is gonna lose a lot of time in the pits at this rate. Ed Sky also taking a very good amount of time, possibly due to damage here. But now Ed Sky's back out. Bashira is gonna wager that she will get out away from traffic. She has a 26-second gap to Daniel Barger, which probably makes things even more complicated because here's Kizaru Leo, here's Vlasa Demashnev, here's Rima Olgor, here's Cheon, here's Dusiem, Turner, Leo, Ricci, Kaczynski, and Antanarao, Guyena, Goodwin, Barger. And now Bashira is officially in the pit lane. The rest of the field's catching up. Barger is continuing on his run as usual. So Bashira will be spending a good amount of time in the pit lane as the rest of the field now catches up. Barger is gonna... Oh, there's gonna be more drivers coming to the pit. That's Diana J. Goodwin joining Farah Bashira. But Bashira is still stationary. Oh, we got Alcantara now coming down the inside. Oh, makes the move against Danilo Guyena. Alcantara trying to make his name known for the onigirias, and he's able to make his move stick. Farabashira now gets out. She has a sizable gap between herself and Kizuhara Leo, but she spent a good amount of time in the pits. I don't think it's damage. So it's going to be the overcut strategy drivers that will be having a massive advantage, and we're going to be taking a serious look at Al Santaro here. Goon is still stationary in the pits at Sky, not far behind. Here is Kaminari Reba to come in to essentially be in trouble, to essentially get blocked by lap traffic. The gap between Reba and Barger, 40 seconds. Reba currently in the lead right now. Barger in second, and Tanner out third. Goyena fourth. Fifth, Kaczynski, and then we got Richie sixth. Ryu seventh, Turner eighth. The race already has now taken a seriously interesting turn. Bashira already 7.4 seconds behind Kizuhara Leo. She needs to get the job done right here, right now. She's already filled to the brim. So that pit stop that she's done is actually her only pit stop that she is doing. Well, she has done, and she will be running these tires until the end of this race. Right now, no problems for Bashira. As Antaro now currently sit third, Barger in second. Eastern European type beat here for these two drivers. Barger is actually from Belarus, but of course Belarusian licenses are banned by the FIA, so Barger has to choose his next best. Next chosen one. I really can't comment any further. Meanwhile, Taro looking for an opportunity, any looking cranny that he can find against Barger. He's going to try. Well, Kaminari Reba now finally comes into the pit. He's expected to have a pretty long service here, as he's gonna come into the pit box here. Here's Daniel Barger coming into Spoon Curve. This will be extremely helpful for Barger if Reba gets jammed in between the lap traffic of Antara, Goyena, Kaczynski, Ricci. Not exactly lap traffic, but it is traffic nonetheless. Reba, is he moving? The answer is no. Barger's still moving. Barger's now at the Casio Triangle. Reba is still stationary. He's not having his car move. The service is not yet complete. Daniel Barger might have the strategy probably set, but not before Reba actually comes out. But here comes Daniel Barger. Will Barger will come around the outside? Oh, and it looks to me that Daniel Barger might just be able to hang on to the lead, but barely. Here comes Daniel Barger. He's not going to push. Kaminari Reba off. And it's now Daniel Barger in the race lead. An amazing turn of events. 40 seconds was the time taken for Reba to complete his pit stop run, and that wasn't enough for him to get over Barger, but crucially, Reba is in second in eyesight of, basically in earshot against Daniel Barger, but of course, if he struggles to overtake Barger, Antara, Goyena, Kaczynski is going to be ready to take the scraps. An interesting development here as Barger now leads his laps here in Formula Hololive. It's long expected, given Suise's BB Debug connections and the fact that she is currently very committed to the bright uniforms. Here comes Antara around the inside of Kaminari Reba. Reba's gonna have it pretty difficult here, as he's gonna potentially see his lead evaporate, as he gets to see his opponents now come down to cause him trouble. And that's Antara now moving up to second place. Reba is now stuck in traffic. This is now Daniel Barger's job to essentially pull away against essentially pull away against Reba as much as he can. Now here comes Danilo Goyena to cause even more trouble. Here comes 3 wide at the main straight. Coming into turn 1. It's going to be Goyena first dispatching Reba. And now Kaczynski's going to try to get the job done as well. The gap's now opened up between Reba and Barger. The gap's now opened up to nearly 3 seconds. And Tara is still not moving. Farah Bashira is looking for her chance to get into some things going on here, as Bashira is actually not far behind Reba, but you can see Reba is now struggling to get some pace in, as Barger now is going to hope that the overcut strategy is going to work for him. Well, at the very least, he's winning in a non-Muslim country. Otherwise, there's going to be some serious controversies if Barger does win. But anyways, Goyena continues to make his run. Reba, of course, still pretty much stuck behind Goyena. If Goyena is going to do his job of essentially blocking the advancements from blocking Reba's advancements, then Barger's going to be thanking Pekora for his efforts. You can see Reba actually has to lift off at 130R. Has a heavy car, and he doesn't feel like he's confident enough with the grip. So he's just gonna have to hope that it's gonna be Barger this time who will be struck by lap car. But you can see here, this is where Barger is, and he just continues to pull away. Goyena actually sets a personal best as well. Barger is actually saving his best for this part of the race. .2 laps complete, and it's now Daniel Barger in control. As you can see here, Barger currently in the race lead. Now 2.6 seconds over Goyena. Reba is not having the best race so far. He's actually losing pace. The gap opened up to 20-30 seconds, and Barger has a serious chance of converting this temporary lead to a net race lead, and for him to be equal to Reba as far as fuel consumption, as fuel levels are concerned, for Barger to get his first win in Formula Hololive. It was not a 3 for 3. It was not a 2 for 2 for Barger. But he at least is going to try to grab home a win here in Suzuka. Of course, for one of Hololive's promising talents here. She is absolutely ripping it in the charts. Suisse, despite claiming herself to be the diamond in the rough, an unfinished product. As you see here, Barger continues to absolutely mount a charge. Gas between Reba and Barger right now, we can say it's around 4.1 seconds. That just shows you how much Barger's absolutely pushing, rather how much he's actually pushing given his car stats at the moment. Looking at the rest of the drivers who are looking to make their pit stops. No pit stops in the forthcoming so far. But here's the funny part, Hoshizano Ryo is yet to make his pit stop, and he is currently in 15th. And Tanarao has done his first pit stop and is currently down in 16th. But he's ahead of Goodwin. .1 seconds gap between Barger and Goyena. Goyena is actually picking up the pace against Barger. Meanwhile, Kaczynski is going to be opening up a chance to attack his fellow Hololive member, or rather his fellow aero mate, Kaczynski against Reba. Kaczynski has to slightly lift, but of course there's not much of a problem here. And we're still continuing on as usual. And Kaczynski can mount a real charge against Reba. Then it's going to be some story to talk about as we are across 24 laps here in Suzuka. Horacio sits 9th, trying to find a way past 2CM. Gonna take a short break from commentary here as we need to take a short break and essentially some few snacks here, so don't go anywhere and stay tuned. Alright, back here in Suzuka, and right now we are still looking into some potential battles here that we may want to take a look into. Allgore currently in 11th. Horacio sits 9th. And right now there's no end in sight for the lacquer battle so far, so allow us to essentially tell some Hololive trivia. Or rather some ARO trivia. So as far as records go, Kamen Rider's Oshishiro Botan has apparently set a Guinness World Record. A Verso YouTuber setting a Guinness World Record. So this is gonna be an interesting story. So for Botan, what she did is that she packaged. She had made a packaged food sentence made out of 33,103 items, and of course they did this in Teshima on August 31st, featuring herself and her Hololive fans and SSRB. But most likely how it works here is that Botan with her cover staff essentially arrive with a screen that projects your Botan, which basically explains how it works. And then there's the fans that help do the food packaging, do it on 33,000. Obviously, these food packaging that absolutely cost them a huge amount. So right now there's a bit of a world record thing going on for Shishiro Botan. Of course, with Kamen Rider, he wants to break his own records himself. Currently, he sits at 1 win in Formula Hololive, 3 more wins, and he's able to match. Oh, that's another Guyana coming into the pits. Just wanted to check on that one. So it's now Barger versus Ripa, just straight up. But the gaps open up to 5.5 seconds. So the undercut strategy is not working. Barger's gonna hope that he should have as much gaps open for as much as he'd like. So anyways, back on the record thing, here Ripa needs 3 wins to manage the Grimrelease's wins tally in a single series, and 4 to match the Grimrelease in all series, in all F-Follow series, and 5 wins to essentially beat it. Become the winningest driver in Formula Hololive. Obviously, it won't be possible to achieve by the end of 2024, the 2024 season, but it should be possible by around 2025. That is, if he's able to really string together a good amount of results. Kaczynski is in 3rd, Richie catching up. Reba losing touch to Daniel Barger this time by. Remember, Daniel Barger is on his first stint Meanwhile, Riba's in the second set. Meanwhile, we got Lorenzo Ricci taking advantage of Kaczynski's this poor run at the exit of the spoon. Here's the battle that we want to take a look into. There's contact. And Kaczynski and Ricci still side by side at the Casio triangle. It's all about who gets the better exit here. And it's Lorenzo Ricci now up in third place. UCM now in the pits, as we've seen, as well as Yu Che-yeon, who are at this point non-factors so far in this race. Barker's having a race on his own right now, and he's not looking to pit until the next 7 laps, or rather 9 laps. We'll have to pay attention to this development. Here's Rio and Duciem. Duciem now down in 14th. Bashira's now in 11th because our Leo 10th. Bashira is still behind Riba, all things considered, but she is catching up to Leo. Meanwhile, Kaczynski is still going on his business. Riba's lost touch to Daniel Barger. We expect that if Barger is able to pull up with a 30-second gap against Riba, or at 20 seconds, because of Ricci and Kaczynski's proximity to Riba, Barger should be able to at least come out ahead and comfortably lead this race until the checkered flag. Remember, Barger has yet to make his pit stop. Meanwhile, as Allgore comes into the pits, Allgore now sits stationary inside his pit box. Meanwhile, Guyana is going on as usual. Rio in 13th, UCM 14th, Cheon 15th, Tenero 16th, Goodwin 17th, and Sky in 18th. Here's Cheon and Tenero now coming in. Allgore's now come out. And Taro's not having a very good strategy so far. He was running inside the top spots, but now he's down in 16th. Let's spend a lot of time in the pits here for repairing possible damages. So that's very, very unfortunate for Tenero. Michael Turner sits 6, now looking for a chance against Liu and Kaczynski and Lorenzo Ricci. Will Kamen Riba continues to not find a solution against Barger, 142.087 for the Hoshiomi. And for the SSRB, how will he respond? It's a 142.221, so at least 2 tenths lower, so this is interesting to look at. Meanwhile, Ricci and Liu come in for their pit stops. Their immediate rivals will be Farah Bashira and Kizuhara, or rather Daniel Goyena and Hoshizuna Rio, or rather Goyena and Duciem. This is taking a good amount of time, but really is not going to take forever. Here's Goyena coming into the main straight. Puts line work on both Liu and Ricci. Liu has actually managed to strategize Lorenzo Ricci on his pit stop. Tanaro is going to be looking for a chance against Cheon, but Tanaro needs to get the move done ASAP. So these are the battles that we want to pay attention to. Meanwhile, Riba is actually slowly catching himself back up to Barger. Barger is not having some lap traffic issues, but the gaps have opened up, so this is something that Barger is at least hoping that it continues to open up. So if he does exit behind Riba, he should have the fastest tires available, and Barger should be able to make a charge. But Barger doesn't have much time left. He only has around usually 7 laps to get his strategy going, but right now it's not working so far. 142.429 for Barger. Meanwhile, Rebel 142.162, so he has gained by around 0.3 of a second. Kaczynski actually slowly catching up to Riba, but although he himself has yet to make his pit stop, so he's making his pit stop in around 3 laps time. Well, I got Kaczynski and Riba continuing to charge as usual, and Tannerau meanwhile continues to get close there to Cheon. Laps complete here in Suzuka, and we are still looking for resolution. 23 laps to go here. Expecting this race to go on for the next few minutes, or rather the next 30 to 40 minutes as the progress will go. Tannerau just looking to make a move against Cheon here, and right now Tannerau's not having a great race here. Given his runs in like 20 laps prior. Meanwhile, Kaczynski, Turner, and Karasio come into the pit, as well as Vlasa Demashnev. Kizaru Leo is going to continue on as usual, which is on Rio, also yet to make his pit stop. So Rio's gonna have some time in the top 10 for quite some time. As we see, he's already coming out. Rio already crosses the line, so he's not going to be able to clear, I don't think, against Ryzen Kaczynski. Can't tell why he has to back out due to safety reasons, so Rio's going to lose out to Kaczynski. Turner in 8th, Leo 9th, UCM 10th, Karasio in 11th, Korichi 12th, Demashnev 13th. And Tannerau's still mired back in 16th behind Yu Cheon. Cheon stopping the defense while Tannerau's going to try to get close, but he's just isn't able to get close enough. Riba still in second. The gaps have essentially hovered at around the 6.5 second mark. Bashira now up in 4th place and is looking into a serious position to get second. Once Barger does come into the pits. Or rather, it looks to me that Barger will get second, Bashira will still get third. Here's that Sky currently last. Here's Barger currently in the lead. Here's Riba in second, who have made his pit stop. So now that red lap cause has died out once again. Oh, here's Kizaru now finally coming into the pits. His immediate opponent should be around Russell Karasio. At least that is the target. Rio will be pinning in the next 4 laps tops. Barger in the next 5 laps. Leo is now stationary for a good amount of time. There's Tannerau. Leo now exiting 14th, and Tannerau's race has gone from bad to worse. Looking at the progress chart, he's lost 10 positions to
this is so Alcantara at this point, and I fear that it has now bled into Formula Hololive. His run Hololive GT3 like as of late. Bashira's gap to Varger is now at 28 seconds. Gap to Reba is actually at around 22 seconds. Bashira has already made her pit stop. So it's going to be a good theory that Varger might just be able to exit ahead of Bashira. But there's a good chance Bashira is actually going to exit ahead of Varger. And Reba's going to take the overall lead with a 21 second gap that should remain uncontested. 141.934 for Reba this time. At least Varger is going to be able to finish here in Suzuka, unlike last year's edition, where he crashed out. Just wanted to check on this on the internet, see if you guys can report. Varger continues to lose his parts of his lead to Reba. That grabs out down to 6.3 seconds. Mark Zucker currently in 7th, but trying to catch up to Hoshizana Ryo. Yep, still pretty much in simple control. Olgor in 13th, Leo 14th. The remaining drivers have yet to make their pit stops. Hoshizana Ryo and Daniel Varger. Let's see how they would deal with the situation. Ryo is now going to be called into pits. Daniel Varger is now the last driver to be called in. The gaps between Reba and Bashira. Reba Bashira, the gap's now at 27 seconds, but if Varger can have a pretty quick pit stop, then he should be able to at least exit ahead of Bashira, but he's going to have a good amount of climb against Reba. Here's Reba at Spoon Curve. Here's Reba at Yes. He's finally being called into the pit lane. And right now it's going to be interesting to see how he has his strategy done. He's going to have a quick change of tires with a quick splash of fuel. Hoshizana Ryo is stationary right now, so you will be at around 16th place. The Tanaro should be able to salvage a point here. Goodwin also has a shocking race. Sky also has a pretty shocking race given his race gains or losses in this regard. So here is Hoshizana Ryo. Here's Daniel Varger. Here's Kaminari Reba. So it's not. Oh, and that's Carussin Caraccio! Oh, it looks to me that he's made contact with Lorenzo Ricci at Degner. And it looks to me that Lorenzo Ricci was ahead, Caraccio was behind. And so, yeah, that's going to be another retirement here, Russell Caraccio here in Suzuka. So it's very, very unfortunate to see yet another retirement here as Daniel Varger now finally comes into the pits. Kamen Reba now retakes the lead of the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. This will be a good story to talk about with Farah Bashira now coming into the final corner. Daniel Varger has now finally got back out. He's now felt himself enough to finish the race. Meanwhile, Bashira has crossed the line. Farah Bashira, will she be able to make the pass? The answer is going to be no. Daniel Varger will take the second place spot. And with the pit stop issues now done and dusted, it's now going to be a raw race until the end. Looking into the tires here, Daniel Reba has 15 laps older tires than Daniel Barger, so this may play into Barger's advantage coming into the later stages of this race. This is Reba, and this is Hoshitono Rio right now, so right now the odds of lap cars are gonna be pretty low. Meanwhile, we got Ricci and Duciem plying their trade against each other. This is going to be a nice story to look into. Meanwhile, we got Ricci trying to defend against Maverick Duciem, but Ricci manages to defend so far. Ricci continues to defend. Maverick Duciem continues to find something. Meanwhile, Reba now retakes the lead of this race. He needs to take it easy so far. Meanwhile, Barger needs those laps to count. Needs to make sure these laps make these laps count. He has around 17 laps to get it done. 17 laps to essentially beat this 24 lap deficit. But if you can set 140s left, right, and center, then this will be a good sign for Barger. He's done very well though to get himself back to remain in second though, as the top three stay where they are. Daniel Goyena though has been the best gainer so far, at least close in the top 5, with him gaining 7 positions from 11 at the start. Damashev gained 8 positions from the start, with him currently in 10th. He started 18th. Kizarlia started last. He's now in 12th. The biggest losers got to be Antanarao and Goodwin, who have lost 8 and 10 positions respectively. They were battling at the front, but they are now at the back. Parabashira is currently in 3rd, Barger in 2nd, Reba in the race lead, almost unattended. Bashira currently stays in 3rd, 142.1 for Reba. This will be a good indicator on how fast Barger is right now. He needs a 140.9 in the next few laps in order for him to continue to close the gap to Reba. Reba has older tires, 15 laps older tires than Barger, and Barger has clean air to work with as well. So it will be very surprising to see if he doesn't break into the 142.762 for Barger. So he's actually slower than Reba. So that again, we are going back into the overcut strategy thing, where the tire warm-up is pretty much very slow. So I think Barger's tire warm-up here is not there yet. Rio is currently coming to 130R. Reba's at the hairpin, so we're not going to be expecting any. Now it's actually Reba who continues to retake the lead. There's only been 2 leaders, or I think there's only like 2 leaders so far between Reba and Barger. With D'Angelo Sims tribute on his halo, he races with a purpose. And of course, with Angelo Sims' legacy being continued in the former Kaminari Reba, he of course races for Shishiro Botan and the SSRBs. As we mentioned before, he is a guy that wants to break the records, if you want to find a better term. Reba, of course, being one of the SSRB members to race here in Formula Hololive, committed one at that. He is very much a Gen 5 man through and through, but he chooses Shishiro Botan due to reasons that we have seen so far. Alex Grant races for Lami, Chaka races for Moses Nene, and Mavidusium has agreed to essentially swap rides with Reba, who at that time was driving for Marbolka. Now Reba is in the Shishiro Botan number 43, and it turns out to be a very good position for him, as he's now currently having a serious chance to take this championship lead. Hoshizuna Ryo currently 17th as he continues to really charge. Just want to take a short pause here to check on the situation here. Demashnev now getting closer and closer to DCM. Olgor is also in this battle as well. And Taro also getting close to Cheong once again, but to no avail. Mashira and Barger matching each other stride for stride. So again, this will be another race where Daniel Barger has been denied a race win. But at least he can come home from Suzuka knowing that he is able to get a good result here in Suzuka and to have his best ever finish in Formula Hololive competitions. So 3 retirements here in this race. What it is, the Russian Croatio, Tyler Williams, and of course So Byung-eun, who's currently down over there. We all got to see Ducia and the Moshev and Olga chasing each other. We will get into 13 laps to go soon enough here in Suzuka, as we're about to conclude the CO Cup race of the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka. UCM is just dancing around on his car, no problem so far. Meanwhile, Olgor is sniffing for a chance. Here comes Don Masnev sniffing for a chance. Here comes Olgor. Will there be moves? The answer is going to be no. Here's Olgor. Gets it closer and closer, but has to back off there to Damashnev. Meanwhile, Bashira is going to try to continue her charge herself. Meanwhile, Barger is still in second, Goyena fourth. Again, Goyena having a pretty decent race here in Formula Hololive Japan. .142 for Barger and Bashira. Riba continues to pull away. 27 seconds is the gap. We haven't seen dominant wins like this in a while, especially given that lap cars are most likely not going to be in the equation. Kamina Riba having this master stroke of a race. It has completed 40 laps. 13 laps to go here. I just wanted to check on his fuel. He is actually good until the end of this race. Everyone's good until the end of this race. Just want to get a double check. Damashnev, Olgor still chasing Ducium for 9th place. The Subaru and Akira Zotal cars chasing the Omar Polka car. Here's Bashira trying to get something against Daniel Barger. 141.973, he's now picking up the pace finally. But will it be too little too late for him? Ryu just continues to have a pretty good run here to avoid being lapped. Reba, on the other hand, is cruising on to his what should be his second Formula Hololive win. It's got pride to be an SSRB member, to have Shishiro Botan as his Oshi. That is Kamen Reba right now. He is going to... He's still got a few long ways to go here, as he still have just about 12 laps to complete here in Suzuka. So as far as Grand Prix are concerned, this is the fourth Grand Prix of the Formula Hololive Japan season. The last Grand Prix will be at Motegi, which would be the ARO's first visit at the track, as they continue. Motegi was scrapped from the schedule last year due to scheduling conflicts. But now we have Reba continuing to make a charge for himself. The gaps have now opened at 28 seconds between himself and Barger. If you want to talk about the largest margin of victory, this should be up there. Can't really think of specific numbers, but we're gonna have to go on as usual. And of course, on the halo of the car is a tribute and a legacy to a fallen ARO member, Angela Sims, of course, who passed away due to complications in her body in June 2024, earlier this year. So the drivers had been given a choice to run the tributes on their cars. Well, everyone did run it at Sportsline Sugo. Only Kamen Reba has chosen to make it a permanent feature in his car, as he just continues to drive in her memory every time he gets to that Shirobota number 43. I'm sure that he has that heart. Which it is a very, very... Oh, that's actually... Meanwhile, we want to say that Ducia has been overtaken by Vlasa Damasha, and now he's free to make a charge against Lorenzo Ricci. While Olgor and Leo are going to be sniffing at a chance to get themselves ahead of a struggling DCM. Anyways, back into Kamen Reba. You don't see those hearts every day on a person like Reba, but you do. Of course, it's always right to show tributes to a fallen member. Meanwhile, Daniel Barger with a 141.036. He's now picking up the pace, but I fear it's too late. As you can see here, it's still pretty much overcast here in Suzuka. 43 laps complete. We're coming into the final 10 laps of this race. We'll be checking the replays of the two incidents after the race concludes, and looks to me that there will be no penalties coming forward. Just wanted to give a double check so far, and I know that's going to be the case. Barger now continue to make his own charge. .94 is the gap between Barger and Reba. If anything happens to Reba, then it's going to be Barger and Bahira can take the spoils, but that won't be the case. I'm taking a tire wear here. Tire was actually pretty slow here. And you can see here there's only some tire wear here from Reba. If you look at the rear end, there's also some tire wear, but not as much as you'd think. Meanwhile, Barger having pretty fresh tires here at the moment, with not much of a visible tire wear right now. It's still continuing on. Oh, Daniel Barger now fast as lap 146.81. But I doubt there's going to be a good response here because Reba has been matching. And now the gloves are off. But again, I fear it's too late for Barger. And at this point, Barger needs to set at least a 3-second lap time faster than Reba. If he were, he is going to be able to catch Reba. But right now, Reba is in a very much comfortable position. Potential battles. Damashev has now pulled away against UCM. Ogor is not looking at an opportunity right now because he's just too far back. Goyana sits 4th with Bashirat 3rd. The Pecora and Luna representatives running 3 and 4. Running Luna leading this convoy of cars, or rather you doubt it could be called a convoy, but anyways, Barger continues to set fastest lap after fastest lap with 142.36. In order for Barger to actually catch it, he needs a 140.3 consistently. This is what he needs. And right now, Barger is absolutely running riot in his Suicide number 41. 140.94 this time for Barker, and I don't think it's going to be enough so far. The gap dropped down to 23, I believe. Got 23 seconds between Barker and Reba. Kaczynski 141.406. Barker just needs to keep piling on the pressure. The speed chart says 291.7, so he needs a pretty better exit of the final corner to get some extra time in. Reba continues to make a charge. Barger in 2nd, Bashirat in 3rd, Goyana 4th, Kaczynski 5th, Turner 6th, Liu 7th. Liu having a pretty quiet race in the second lap, calling number 96. Zarichi in 8th, Damashnev 9th, UCM 10th, Olgor 11th, Liu catching up to Olgor in 12th, Cheon 13th, Tanarao 14th, Goodwin 15th, Sky 16th, Rio 17th, with Crashio and Williams also crashing out, as well as Sobyung. And these are the 3 DNFs so far in this race. They may add up. Meanwhile, 142.015 for Reba. Barger can do a 141, but again, it's not going to be enough to catch up to Reba. Well, so much for a dominant win, that is. As Barger now sets a 141.15, but he does gain a second per lap, but it's not going to be enough. Right now, no changes so far in the timing tower. No changes in position, as we are now coming into the final 7 laps of this race. It's now becoming almost impossible for Barger to take the lead away from Reba, and Reba is in a serious position to steal this. Honestly, get his second win of his Formula Hololive Japan season. Boltan's is 2nd in Formula Hololive. Reba's is 2nd in Formula Hololive. And to my knowledge, Shiro Boltan's is 4th in all aero competitions. And Reba's is 3rd. Reba just needs to find a new bit of scenery to get the best out of himself. And right now he is seeing the best out of himself, with him currently being a very good force here to be reckoned with in the Shirobota number 43. Reba and Barger currently still looking to have their status quos remain as it is. Goodwin currently 15th, Antara catching Cheon. Cheon now forming a train. Rio is in 17th. This is where Reba is. He's at the hairpin, so no threat of lap cars as of yet. And looking at the stream right now, I'm pretty much alone here, so we're just gonna cover the rest of the stream as it should be. Well, the rest of the stream as usual, I guess. Goyana sits 4th, Washira 3rd, Barger still in 2nd. The gaps between these two are not gonna go down anytime soon. At least that is what the idea is. So Barger still holds the fastest lap of the race so far, with a 140.6 if I'm mistaken. Bashira looking to continue on her progress, 141.592 for Barger, so the pace has absolutely slowed. Bashira and Goyana are also in a battle of their own. 5 laps to go here in Suzuka in the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. Again, if you look at the championship implications, Reba will take the championship lead. Barger will at least elevate himself from... Reba will at least elevate himself into around the 275 territory. It will be 398 for Reba. With his win, he will probably be in the championship lead coming into Okayama, which is the next round of the Formula Hololive Japan season, which will take place in around October or November. And but most of these drivers will actually stay in Japan, here in Suzuka. Because next week is actually the final round of the Hololive Japan Series title, with all to play for in the Tsuyo Series and the Zako Series. The boys are of course still also in title contention in the Zako Series. So there's still a lot to essentially fight for. Oh, and there's Goyana and Bashira actually going side by side there. Goyana actually went down the inside of Bashira at 130R. You saw it coming, with Bashira having a very poor run at Spoon Curve. You also saw it on the radar on the bottom right, but Bashira manages to defend. So this is some racing that we are going to be, or that we're at least able to see coming into the final parts of the race. And here comes Goyana down the inside of Bashira. Goyana's going to take the podium all by himself, but Goyana has been pushed off. It's going to be Danilo Goyana in 3rd. Well, this is a surprise that we have not foreseen, because Danilo Goyana has gained 8 positions from the start. Obviously, the best gainer in terms of starting and finishing positions so far. As you see, Goyana is now in 3rd place, gaining 8 positions from the start. As Goyana started 11th, the monster started 18. He started 18. He's now in 9th, gaining 9 positions in the process. What a move that was! Bashira denied of her podium here in Suzuka, unless she has anything to say about it. The gaps between Barger and Reba have closed down pretty dramatically, as it seems. With that, it's now dropped down to 19 seconds. But I doubt that there's gonna be some lead changes in the final few laps, as we're now gonna get into 3 laps to go here in Suzuka. Bashira is losing touch against Goyana. Goyana now in control. Barger now gets himself into the A game once again, but he's been pretty inconsistent in these final stages. From what we're seeing, the gas dropped down to 19 seconds. This is not going to be a dominant win as Reba would have hoped, but this is still going to be a great win nonetheless for the SSRB, as they're now looking to take the lead of the Tsuyo Cup standings. Barger continues to lead the way. Guyana not far behind. Down to 18.7, but that doesn't matter. Guyana is also pulling away against Farah Baisha. That should be the battle for the podium positions all done and dusted. Reba, we're mostly just gonna be covering him for the next few laps here, potentially. Meanwhile, we're looking into the final potential battles here in Suzuka. So an ultimate lap right now has started here. The penultimate lap has started here in the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. Reba has just crossed the line. 18 seconds is the gap between himself and Daniel Barger at the moment. It's going to be a massive hiccup. It's going to take a massive hiccup for Barger to win this race, as Reba continues to lead this race unattended, or rather unsupervised. I think that's the right word to look for. Reba has been classed by the rest. He may have started. He actually stole pole position away from Daniel Barger earlier. He managed to stay in the race lead while maintaining his line around the outside. So it got to be a win and a half though for Reba. This is different from when back in Fuji where he had to essentially had a dog from everyone else, but this time he has a dominant car and he's not afraid to show that he gets the job done. Welcome everyone to the stream. We're about to finish the Tsuyo Cup race, and if you like the stream, please drop a like. If you want to see more Hololive racing content, please drop a channel subscription. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any races. You can also hit the notification bell. We have seen lots going on here. Crashes, pit stop strategies, going left, right, and center. But now we are about to see Kamen Reba start his final lap here in Suzuka. The race was delayed from Sunday to today, from yesterday to today, due to host fatigue. And now Kamen Reba, despite staying for one more day, is gonna now lead the penultimate lap and see if he can just stay in the race lead for this final lap. And if he's able to do so, he's gonna be winning the Tsuyo Cup race. Now again, back to Shishiro Botan. She is a hard-working idol, of course. She's a crack shooter and all that stuff. Reba saw a lot of interesting stuff in her, and in Gen 5, that is what made Reba hooked to Gen 5, especially Shishiro Botan. And now, the Italian judge has only half the circuit left for him to navigate. Representing the gray and white colors of Shishiro Botan and the FSRB, which he is proud to be part of, Reba is now channeling his energy, channeling his skills into his racecraft. He scored pole position earlier in this race. He's led the most laps here in Suzuka in the Epilogue Grand Prix Tsuyo Cup race. And now with only a few more corners to go, Reba is going to make it official. 130R into the Casio Triangle into the final corner. Kamen Reba has done nothing wrong to prove his doubters wrong. And now, with the checkered flag in sight, Kamen Reba is going to bring home win number 2 for Shishiro Botan and himself and for the SSRB here in Formula Hololive. He wins the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka Tsuyo Cup race. It was a valiant effort for Daniel Barger to beat him as far as strategies go, But second place is nothing to scoff at, as Barger gets his best ever finish in Formula Hololive, as he finishes second for Hoshimachi Suisei. He'll no doubt enjoy this run of form that should be able to at least get closer to Riba. And Guyana finishes third for Sadapekora after a dramatic last laps pass against Farabashira for fourth. Farabashira, it shows why she can be a good successor to Moshad and Reza by finishing 4th for Himura Luna. Kazuki 5th, Turner 6th, Liu 7th, Richie 8th, Damasev 9th. And for all of the cars still running, they are still on the lead lap. Damasev 9th, DCM 10th, Olgard 11th, Leo 12th, Cheon 13th, and Tanarov 14th, Goodwin 15th, Sky 16th, and Hoshino Ryo in 17th. So we might not be able to show an accurate final championship standings, or rather the actual true championship standings of the CO Cup on the stream. We might still be able to see it on YouTube's community tabs or on Twitter. But whatever the case is, let's go through the winners, or rather the finishing order. Kamen Riba wins for Shichiro Botan again. Win number 2 for him, Shichiro Botan, and the SSRBs in Formula Hololive. Daniel Barker finishes second in his best ever finish for Hoshimachi Suisei in Formula Hololive. Daniel Goyena finishes third for Usara Pekora, and with beating Farabashira at lap 50 or lap 51 in the Himura Luna number 31. Rajikusuki 5th, Michael Turner 6th, Ray Liu 7th, Lorenzo Ricci 8th, Vlasa Demashnev 9th, DCM inside the top 10. Olgar 11, Kizara Leo 12, Cheon 13, Al Santara 14, Goodwin 15, Ed Sky 16, Hoshino Ryo, the last of the running drivers in 17. Western Karashi did not finish alongside Tyler Williams and Seo Byung-eun, who finished 18th, 19th, and 20th respectively. And so that should be the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka done and dusted. So that being said, let's take a look into the incidents that have happened. So let's take a look into Seo Byung-eun. So first of all, to see what exactly happened to him at the start. So let's take a look into Seo Byung-eun's onboard. Again, he put too much throttle and then damaged his car and the suspension. So this is why Seo Byung-eun has struggled. Yeah, so the suspension damage and all that stuff. But that is just Seo Byung-eun. So let's take a look into other incidents, especially Tyler Williams. So he was in a battle against Hoshino Ryo. So let's take a look into this onboard. So he's actually making a move against Hoshino Ryo, who actually had a bit of an issue. So you can see here, he got tagged by Ryo. Oh, that might actually be a penalty. That might actually be a penalty for Hoshino Ryo, because Ryo was not ahead by turn-in. So we're gonna go on board Hoshino Ryo this time. There's Tyler Williams on the left. Yeah, Ryo was not ahead by turn-in and managed to put Tyler Williams in a DNF. So this will be a 30-second penalty for Hoshino Ryo. Russian Crusher, this is what exactly happened to him. Here, this is Lorenzo Ricci. The Russian Crusher had a very terrible exit out of Dunlop. Lorenzo Ricci was ahead this time. Oh, I had to feel the brunt of contact from Carrascio. So here's Russian Crusher's on board as he struggled at Dunlop. Watch Lorenzo Ricci on the left. Yeah, he tagged Ricci and brought himself to a spin. Can't see that I can't see anyone being at fault other than Karashi himself. So let's take a look into the replays once again. So it's confirmed that Hoshino Ryo will be receiving a 30-second penalty for his aggression. Not that he will be losing more positions anyway. But yeah, that's Rustin Crosio being spun out, and that should be the race. So while all this is happening, so we're gonna show. I'm gonna share myself a post-race thoughts here as we're getting this race properly concluded. So it's a nice little event here. Oh, I just wanted to right now, I don't know if there's any issues with the controller here. Yeah, there's something definitely wrong here because there might be some assignments that have been broken. So excuse us while we try to fix this issue. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with the there's something definitely wrong with the controls here. So we're gonna have to take a slight break here. We're gonna show you at least the top 5 and the top 10 because the championship standings are actually broken here. So please give us some slack as we're going to. Oh no, the race did not count. The event essentially crashed, so we're gonna have to actually end the stream here. I'm gonna have to take some time to process the results. So apologies if it's like this. Not something that we can actually avoid sometimes due to the unstable nature of some mods. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream as much as we did, even though we had to delay it to today due to the limitations. So again, we'll hope to see you next week, or rather this weekend, for the final races of the 2024 Hololive GT3 Japan season here in Suzuka. The finale 500 at Suzuka coming right up next week. Hope you all guys are able to tune in, and hopefully you're able to stay with us by then. But that being said, my name is Mama Shannon Reza. We hope everyone have enjoyed this Epilogue Grand Prix weekend that has been hosted since Saturday. And we hope to see again. So I hope everyone to just take care. And anyways, see you all next week or this week. Anyways.